Sounds good. Whoa.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Any update on the uh sweatshirt gate?
No, I haven't looked into it since we talked on the phone.
It is a shame.
I kind of like the new sweatshirt.
Oh, don't let Avery hear you say
No, I won't. I
that.
will not.
Hopefully she's not a Noti gang.
I don't think she is. That would be funny.
Where is she at right now? She at work still?
She just got back from work. She's going to the gym.
Nice. All right. I'm posted on Snapchat and I'm ready to go. Oh, Ethan's here. Nice.
Nice.
Yes, somebody did say Noti gang, Ethan. All right. Okay. Ready to break this all down?
Yep. Give me 2 seconds.
Oh, I didn't see you're back there. Yep. All right.
Um,
Background's such a mess every time.
okay. Yep. I'm ready.
All right. And let's get started in 3, 2, and 1. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys Podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
It's been a while, Chris. It actually benefited us a little bit. We got a lot to talk about today. We got a big, beautiful podcast for everyone. And it all starts the Halle band hit the Thibs Tower. Um, and so that's where we're going to start out. Thibs got fired today. Of course, it's because the Pacers beat the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. Um, we'll talk about the series first, and we'll get into Thibs. They the one game that they lost in Game 5, it just seemed like they were just ready to give it up. They were ready to go back to Indiana. Um, the desperation on the Knicks side was heavy. The desperation on the Pacers side was minimal. They knew they could take care of it in at least 2 more games, so they took care of business in Indiana. And really, that last game in Indiana, it got close at times, but it never felt close. Um, and the cherry on top was the Obi Toppin dunk that really put him up big. And just thinking about the Knicks giving him away for 2 second-round picks is just pretty sad to see, honestly.
Yeah, it's a shame. It really did feel like it was just like pretty early on that they were just going to take care of business. Um, I don't know how many Knicks fans like after Game 5 had a lot of hope that they were going to come back. I'm assuming they all did because it does seem like a pretty confident fan base, bordering on the line of like optimism and delusion. Um, but yeah, the Game 5 didn't really change anything for me. Obviously, if they would have somehow pulled out Game 6, then it would have been one of the biggest basketball games ever for the
Oh
Knicks,
yeah.
which would have been cool. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is like kind of the thing that we've been talking about with the Knicks this whole time is like eventually the legs are going to wear down, and like you can only play this style for so long. And Indiana, like, they put it to them for 6 games. It honestly doesn't really feel like a series that went 6.
No, it really doesn't. And it's funny saying that considering the Knicks basically won Game 1 uh and
Right.
just completely collapsed in the fourth quarter, completely blew it. Um Yeah, I mean, they talk about desperation. They were getting the DeLon Wright minutes and Landry Shamet minutes for like some of their best minutes on the court. Um, and Nemhart just destroyed Brunson in this last game. Really was in his face. On the offensive side too, was relentless on the fast breaks. And really held Brunson to what he needed to be. Like he needed to score 30 points for them to win. He ended with 19. Uh, Towns. So the two scapegoats at the end of the season were Towns and Thibodeau. Um,
Yep.
and we might see them both be gone from the Knicks come this summer. So Thibodeau's already gone. The talk about I already said this word twice, but desperation is all I think about when they fired Thibodeau. I mean, he just took them to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years. Um, y- I don't I just don't see how like there was adjustments that could have been made, and they could have been playing DeLon Wright and Landry Shamet a little bit earlier, which look, if Thibodeau's like, "I don't wanna play Landry Shamet and DeLon Wright," like, I don't blame him that much. It ended up working out in the Knicks' favor when they played him, but the adjustments kinda came too late. Um, I don't I don't see how you could possibly blame this whole series, um, on Thibodeau and how he could be how the moving forward piece would be to get a new coach under this regime. Um, just puzzling move, honestly.
I feel like this isn't how the NBA works anymore. I feel like you can't like we're not in the age of these teams that like you just throw rosters together and like if you don't win you fire the coach. Like we're seeing it this year that continuity matters and
Yeah,
like playing together as a team for multiple seasons. Like the champion this year is obviously going to be in that boat, and the champion last year was in that boat. Your Celtics. Um, like both of these teams that we're looking at, this Indiana Pacers team has kind of grown together over the last couple of years. They added Siakam last year at the was it at the deadline last year
I
or was
believe
it
so.
earlier in the season? I don't
No,
know.
I believe it was it might have been
Um,
earlier before the deadline, but um, yeah, but it was midway through last season.
yeah, um, but it wasn't like he was kind of like that last piece to push him over the edge, like adding that second real impact player. The way that the Knicks went about constructing a roster this past season, like they brought in two guys who they thought were stars in Bridges and Towns, and now after a year, we're like, all right, well, we got to get rid of Towns. Like that's not how it works, right? Like would another year of running it back with the same exact team, like maybe you can finagle the roster a little bit to add some more depth. But like, I don't think anybody would be upset about that. Why don't? What if they just gave it like 2 weeks after the season before deciding to make a decision?
Right?
Like it just feels like an emotional decision. It's like this is New York and we need someone to blame. And like we don't know what's going on within that organization, or like maybe there's been tension building with Thibodeau in the front office this whole year, or the past couple years even, or the players don't like him or what. But it just seems very rash.
And I'm glad you brought up the players don't
And
like him.
this
Oh,
was a
sorry.
huge success of a season for them. Like this is the best season they've had in our lifetime.
Oh, 1,000%. And last year they lose to the Pacers. They have the injuries you can blame. Then they get the upgrades in Mikal Bridges, and OG Anunoby. And you're right. It isn't how the team should operate anymore. Like this isn't. And it's one thing like if you're like when you're the Raptors and you win, Dwayne Casey wins Coach of the Year, and then you get swept in the first round by LeBron or the second round by LeBron. Like that's a little different. But
Yeah.
they just made the Eastern Conference Finals. They were 2 games away from making the finals. They won 11 playoff games. Uh you only need to win 16 to win the finals. So it is it's drastic move. As you said, a very emotional move. And it seemed like, oh, we can't trade Towns right now, so we don't have anyone to blame. We don't want the New York fan base like hating on us still, so we're just gonna fire Thibodeau. And I'm sure there's a group of New York fans that wanted this to happen because of
Mm-hmm.
regular
There
season.
always is.
Well, and like in the regular season, like why aren't you playing DeLon Wright a little bit more, a little Landry Shamet more? Maybe you get that feeling that these guys can play in the playoffs, so I can trust these guys in the playoffs. And
Mhm.
that like Tibbs plays 6 guys, 7 guys the whole season. That's his thing. But you knew what you were getting into when you had Thibodeau. Um, Jalen Brunson got asked directly after the game by a reporter. He's still in his like warm up gear because I guess they put it on after the game. And they asked him if there should be a coaching change, and he looked at him like he was insane. He looked at the reporter like he was insane. And 2 days later, like I'm watching yesterday on First Take. That's coming out. That interview's getting shown, and the next day his coach is fired. So it seems like it's a finger pointing move. It seems like it's a try to get the fans off our back move. But I don't know, like how many Knicks fans were super upset about this outcome. Like I'm sure they were upset,
I
but
don't.
like
Yeah,
there's no one that was like
I think
this was
they're
a
just happy. A
bad
lot of them were
season.
just happy to be there. No,
Yes.
not a single one.
And as you like the East gets weaker every year. Why not just run it back and try to get like maybe you get some luck. Maybe there's some injuries that happen next year that go your way instead of the Knicks way or against the Knicks. And maybe they get lucky and they get to the finals pretty soon. But it was it was so weird to have this like celebration of the Knicks throughout the whole playoffs, and then their coach gets fired at the end.
Mm, yeah.
And honestly, you
Well,
feel
that's why,
bad for
like,
him. You're
I
like,
say maybe there's something that's going on behind the scenes that we're just not aware of.
yeah, maybe
Plus,
something
it
with the
is just like
GM.
sloppy ownership that immediately they need somebody to blame because they didn't win the finals. But that's not like it's not who they are.
The comments. First, Ethan said the Brunson headbutt was the most memorable part of that last game. That's true. That is the most memorable part of that last game. And then the Knicks are those guys in the Madden franchise who trade everyone instead of re-signing them, and actually roster building and wonder why they can't get it done. Yeah, kind of like what we were saying, just like throwing out the roster, bringing it back, seeing why we can't get it done. Um, the just seemed like if you're gonna blame someone, the defense of Karl Anthony Towns just would have been the easiest thing to blame. And I'm sure there would have been like he's still a great player. Like I think he's a fantastic player.
Yeah,
And he's young. He just has a big contract and doesn't play the defense that Thibodeau wanted to play. So maybe it was like a Karl Anthony Towns or Thibodeau type of deal, but and
I
they just thought it
guess.
was too
But why'd you
expensive.
trade
They
for him in
move
the
on.
first place then?
Yeah, they knew his contract. They knew what he was going to
Like you
do.
knew. Was anybody surprised that we're like talking about Karl Anthony Towns' defense at the end of the series?
No, I hope not. I sure hope not. And that being
What
said,
did
it's
we
not like
expect?
yeah, and it's that being said, like it's not like Julius Randle and DiVincenzo would have would have done probably much better. Um, we got comments saying don't blame the big purr. I'm not directly blaming the big purr. Um, I'm just saying if they would have like I felt like that would have been a nicer scapegoat than the coach that just grinded out for like 80 plus games, more than that, like almost 100 games, and took them 4 wins or 2 wins away from the finals. It's it's just pretty
Yeah,
ridiculous. I'd be pissed honestly if I was a Knicks fan, but maybe Mike Malone's coming. Like maybe like that's probably like their best bet. But Mike Malone's no different than Thibodeau. He doesn't play any of the rookies
we don't
either.
even know is Mike Malone a good coach? We don't. Who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah, exactly.
He won a
Jokic took him
championship.
without it. Yeah, but with
But,
Jokic.
yeah, right.
Yeah, it's a great point. We saw
I don't
this
know.
year
I don't
that
know how the NBA works with coaches. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's like I know Spoelstra is a good coach.
and it's
That's
it's
about
funny.
it.
I don't it's a great point because it's like you can look at Spoelstra and you can tell what there's a couple guys that you can tell what they do. Like Joe Maz, he wants defense and threes. Uh,
Hmm.
what's his name on the Lakers? JJ Redick. He like dials up all these plays, all these smart plays. He's on the whiteboard all the time. Like at least you have like something there. Um, I get what you mean. Like what does Mike Malone do without Jokic? Like is he that good of a coach? Like we just saw Jokic be the
I
coach
nobody knows.
and took OKC to 7. So
Yeah,
it's it'll be
even
interesting. And
Spoelstra, like his only rings were well, he won one with Wade, but then all the other ones were the big three.
yeah, and but he gets
He is a
that.
good coach. But I'm
Yeah,
just saying that like players win championships in the NBA, not coaches.
I agree. And I think when you have a solid defense, a solid culture, you got to keep that guy around for a little bit. at least run it back one more year. Like, that's what's the craziest part.
Yeah,
The fact that this
the
isn't like,
fact that this roster is not given another shot is insane.
yeah, I completely agree.
I guess the roster could be, but like in its entirety, coaching included, it doesn't make sense to me.
I completely agree. And I don't know what they like. This is, ugh, I mean, they're gonna have moves to be able to do in the offseason. It's gonna be tight, but they're gonna have moves. Um, and it's just gonna be we're gonna have to figure out. They're gonna have to figure out some depth. They're gonna have to figure out who their coach is. Um, Ethan wants the Knicks Tibbs cat dilemma in NFL terms. Um, I think it'd be like if the Eagles
Oh,
lost to
good
the
question.
Commanders and then fired Sirianni. Sort of, right?
Uh,
Ravens with
well, no,
Harbaugh?
because the Eagles had just made a Super Bowl. Ravens hardball, maybe. Yeah, maybe the Bills with McDermott too.
Yeah. I was thinking
But
Bills
there's got to
McDermott
be
too.
somebody else in there that's like you can blame.
And they had like all
Like
those
Josh
teams
Allen
had
and Lamar are
multiple
not
years.
as blamable as as Carl Anthony. Right? Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's the
That's
thing.
the
It's like this
kicker.
is the first year that they
Oh, here it would be like if the year the Titans made the AFC Championship, if they fired Vrabel,
yes.
or but everybody was blaming Tannehill.
Yep, that's a great one. I like that a lot. That's a
Okay,
good
there we
comparison.
go.
Yeah, because that works out perfectly. Because you could definitely have like the limitations of Tannehill, yada 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 yada, stuff like that. Um, all right. I don't even know what else to say. Like this is just they're gonna have to find a new coach. They're gonna have to not restart from the bottom up, but it's gonna be a different team. It's gonna be a different play style, and we'll have to see where they go next year and what they do over the summer.
Yeah, I mean it's I no one's questioning the fact that they need more depth. It's just how they figure that out with the contracts they have will be very interesting.
Before we move on from this series, how did you feel about Pascal Siakam getting the Eastern Conference Finals MVP?
I didn't look at their numbers, so I don't know. I mean, it felt like Halliburton was going to win it just by default,
Yeah.
but
Well, what?
it's nice to see some respect on Siakam's name
Yeah, and
because I feel like
Siakam.
he's like the only guy that you talk about with the Pacers is Halliburton.
Yeah, and it does like it feel like Siakam like basically won them two of the games, at least one of them. And but Halliburton,
Mhm.
you know, he controls the team. He controls the pace. They play with Halliburton's style. Um, his passing around. He had that game 3 or 4 where he had like 30-point triple double. I think it was game 3, and it was so he played masterfully. I think either one of them could have gotten it. It was a one. It was a
Yeah,
9 or it was a 9 voter panel, and it was 5-4. So really kind of a coin toss, and it landed Siakam. So I don't hate that. I think Siakam's a good player too. That like is a respectful player to get it. Um, but it does. You said you didn't look at the stats. It seemed like all the pods I listened to, it's like, oh, these guys just looked at the stats and said, "Oh, pick Siakam because of the averages." Um,
I feel like is
but
that not always how it is?
I
I
think
feel like the
so.
stats are always who wins the MVP.
Yeah, I think you're right. But yeah, and it just I guess it led to like a bigger discussion of like, you know, does it need to be the even though it's if he doesn't have the best series in the world or he does or someone has a better series than him, should it be the guy who's been carrying the team throughout the whole season? Which I don't. It's for the series, so
And who cares? It's the
that's the other
Eastern
thing.
Conference
Yeah,
MVP.
it's the Larry Bird Trophy. Like who? Yeah. Um, I completely agree. So let's go to the NBA Finals then. We start on Thursday. We start in Oklahoma. It's gonna be It's gonna be it's tough, real tough because the Pacers are so much fun to watch. They run with such a great pace. They have this great 3-point percentage, this great offensive uh percentage, and OKC's defense might take it all away.
Yeah,
they can run with the Pacers. They're just as athletic as the Pacers. Um, Nimhart's gonna have to be on SGA now instead of Jalen Brunson. And I don't know how that's going to work out. I feel like SGA might be able to cook them. And the biggest thing about this OKC team and the weirdest thing about this OKC team is that they haven't been good at three-point shooting this whole playoffs, and it hasn't mattered a lick. So, I don't
I mean,
I
they went to a game seven. It mattered a little bit in that series.
That's true. That's true, and then they blow out the Nuggets in game 7, so it's like
Right. Yeah.
so, yeah, you're right. It can get hairy at times, and the Nuggets do play at a pace similar to the Pacers. Definitely not as high, of course, but with Jokic running around and passing and, all these open looks that maybe they can get a couple games in. I'm really nervous it's gonna be like a 5-game series, for Oklahoma, but people have been doubting the Pacers this whole playoffs. Nobody expected them to be in the finals. They were 28-1 to make the finals, which dude, I lost so much money not betting on the Pacers. I was on this pod like months ago talking about the Pacers. Um, and it, I completely missed that opportunity. But the, I don't know. I just think that OKC is gonna be able to defensively hound them. They have the matchups that they want. Even if Hartenstein's out there and they attack Hartenstein, they're just gonna sub in Chet and play small ball with Chet. And I think that's where they have to key. They have to use Miles Turner. They have to use Siakam in their fullest potential, and they need to play excellent defense. They need to play excellent offense as well. They have the confidence. Um, and it'll be interesting. What do you think about this series?
I mean, if OKC plays their best ball, there's no possible way they lose. Like when you're looking at these two teams, and I started looking at like the offensive rating and all those fancy well, I guess they're not super fancy. But
Advanced
the stuff
stats?
outside of just like wins and losses, yeah. Uh, and like everything that Indiana does well, OKC does better.
Yeah.
So it's like we talk about how good or like about how the Pacers play with such a good pace and ratio is so good, and like OKC is just better.
They are.
They're much better defensively. So it's worst case scenario, they are equal offensive teams.
Yes.
Um, and OKC definitely has a huge leg up defensively. So I I stopped short because I don't want to be the one who's still not believing in the Pacers when they
Mhm.
actually win, because it's been 3 series of this now, where nobody's really picking the Pacers to win, and they just keep winning. So that's the only thing that I'm weary of. But I think this OKC team is just too talented.
The I think so too, and it's kinda like the Mavericks last year where it's like, man, they had this great run. They have this awesome, like, story. Nobody expected them to be here. They're a little early, and then it just doesn't matter in the finals.
Yeah,
Um, and we got a comment, should the Thunder really be 10-point favorites in game 1? Here's why they're 10-point favorites, because Vegas doesn't want them to lose money if they blow them out. And there's probably a 50% chance they blow them out. And
yeah.
that's the thing with this OKC team. It just gets ugly so fast. The Pacers do a great job of holding onto the ball and not having a lot of turnovers. But the second those turnovers start adding up, or if they do start adding up, it's going to get ugly quick. Um, and that's why
They
it's
jump
been
on you right away. You're done. It's like a
yeah,
kill shot in the first quarter.
agreed. But if it's a 10-point game, like down in the fourth quarter, then I could see even the Pacers coming back and, like, maybe taking it to overtime
Mm-hmm.
like they did against the Knicks, or,
Voodoo
keeping it
magic.
close. Yeah, exactly. So they have the devil is definitely in Indiana right now. They have all the magic going their way. And that's not saying like that's not a diss at the Pacers. It means that they have all the luck going their way so far throughout the playoffs. Um
Yeah,
and and it's funny, like, I wonder if there's a sense where OKC sees all these metrics, they see all the stuff, and they maybe sleep in game 1, and so and the Pacers come in with all this confidence, they come in, "We just beat the Knicks, we shouldn't be here, nobody expects us to be here, um, nobody expects us to win." So, there's locker room stuff for the Pacers, to post around. um, Rick Carlisle can get it's another good coach in the NBA, Rick
hmm
Carlisle. Um, it was it's gonna be a tough series for the Pacers. It's a long like it's their toughest series yet, even though they faced the 1 seed in the Cavs and the Knicks were a better seed than them. This is by far like competition they haven't seen yet. Um,
Yeah,
so it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a fun finals though. Like the people that are hating on this finals, I think are just don't really like. There's a lot of people on Twitter that just don't like basketball. They just want to see the brands in the finals and want to root
yeah,
for fan bases and root for. I think this is a great finals matchup because I do think OKC can blow them out in any game, or the Pacers can like win by 3 in every game. Like I think both of those things are possible, and we'll have to see. We'll have to see who comes out flat game one and who comes out guns blazing. And the I am fearful though that OKC might just be able to take care of business in all of these games. But the I love that the two fan bases that wear all the t-shirts that are the loudest it seemed throughout the whole playoffs um are in the finals.
it's the Midwest.
Yes, yes. Um it really feels like we're gonna have
That is the NBA's nightmare. It's like just middle of America
yeah, no celebrity row,
franchises.
nothing. Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna have like
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean close.
No, they're
The
gonna be
best
lucky if
you got
Caitlin
is
Clark
the
goes.
guy in the vest
Oh,
from the. Did
Thunder.
you see that guy standing next to Chalamet?
Oh no, I did see that guy. Yeah,
No,
that guy
the
was great.
Pacers guy.
Yes. That guy was awesome. Um God, I respect
Thundor.
Chalamet. I respect Chalamet for going to
Oh yeah,
game 5 and sitting with
yeah.
I think he afterwards like he shook a bunch of Pacers fans' hands and was a good sport about it. So he
Yeah.
got it's funny, he came out with the most positive press leaving the series was Timothy Chalamet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's
And he was already like the ultimate ball knower
yeah,
for everyone on Twitter. Like people liked him because of that. Because he made it some pick about in the MAC, I think, when he was on College Game
yes.
Day.
And he was the
And
only
now,
one who picked it.
yeah, right. And now Kylie Jenner is in Indiana on a Saturday night.
Yep. Yep.
So it's,
No, he's like the yeah, he's becoming just an all-time celebrity based off just coming to these games and sports
yeah,
knowledge. And I'm all for it. I love the guy. It seems like he's genuine. It seems like you look
yep,
at the posts, he's been a Knicks fan since he was like 11. Like he has posts
mhm,
where it's like him and some Knicks players and he's like this tall. It's like this
yep,
yeah, this is cool. So, I I respect that. But going like there's you're lucky if like the NBA is lucky if Caitlin Clark comes, right? They're like, "Caitlin
oh yeah,
Clark, stay
she's got
out
to
a
be
couple
there.
weeks." Yeah, it's like
And
stay at
McAfee, I guess,
yeah, and
will be
McAfee.
there.
Um, oh, yeah, Oklahoma, what they got Thundor. That's about it.
I don't even know. Yeah, I couldn't name one famous person from it. I mean, Tim Keith was. He's passed now. I don't know if he's a Thunder fan anyway.
Yeah, you don't know. There's no famous Thunder fans. Um, but maybe we'll get some in the finals. Maybe someone will pop up and be
That's true. Somebody will creep
yeah,
out.
exactly. So I know that's kind of a wishy-washy preview, but it's hard to make solid predictions on any of these without seeing any of the games. And I guess if I would have to make a solid prediction, it would be like OKC in 5, which is I don't want to say though because I don't want to disrespect the Pacers.
Yeah, I would take him in 6. I think I could definitely see like one of the games in Oklahoma City getting weird, and the Pacers pointing out somehow, and then I mean at least one game at home that would
Ethan
get you to
said,
6.
"Do Pacers have to win game 1 in the series to or sorry, do they have to win game 1 to win the series?"
No, I don't think so.
No. Yeah, I agree. They
I
have
think
to
it go down 0-2, and they
yeah.
take care of business at home.
Yeah, and they have
I
to
wouldn't feel good
steal
about
one.
it, but
No, no, wouldn't feel good about it at all.
yeah, I mean
If
they'll have to win in OKC at some point, obviously,
if
just
they can get to game
by
5
math.
2-2, then they're looking pretty. They're
Yeah,
actually
that's a huge
praising
win.
God that they get to 2-2. So, I don't think they need to win game 1. Do we have any props that we like? I haven't looked at any props.
Oh, I haven't looked at them.
No, I haven't either.
That would have been a good thing to
We
do.
will we'll tweet out some props for Thursday. We'll try to do it. I'll try to do it tomorrow. We'll try to get a little wise lay going. And we'll tweet that out and post it on Instagram for the fans. Um, so yeah, I mean the most fun matchups are going to be like, Siakam going to be on? Is he going to be on Jalen Williams? Is he going to be on Chet? Is he going to be on sometimes Hartenstein? Um, it'll be it'll be interesting to see those matchups, the individual matchups between the players in the finals. But team wise, there's a reason why they're 10-point favorites, and it's just
Yes.
like it's the same thing that we've said it with the Celtics earlier in this playoffs. It's like sometimes you look at, and I think we were talking about OKC too. Sometimes you just look at the math that everyone's calling out, and there's all these stats about it, and it's just like sometimes there's nothing you could do about it. Like, what if the Pacers shoot
Yep.
40% from three, and then they could still lose by 10. Like and that's not normal. Like there's normally if you shoot better on the 3-point, you're gonna win. But this OKC team's just different, and I'd be worried about I want to see game one going in. I want to see how many turnovers and assists the Pacers get in the first half, because if it's a lot of turnovers, not a lot of assists, it's going to be ugly for the rest of the series. Um, if it's even amount, maybe they have a fighting chance, but they really need to keep turnovers to a minimum, which they have. That's what they've been doing all season long. Um, and they play with this. They play with such a continuity where everyone knows where they're going to be. Um, but I would worry about uh, Nimhart defensively. I would worry about the Neesmith defensively, actually, because I just think Jalen Williams is just a little bit bigger and a little bit, he could just go to the basket on him. Um, I love Miles Turner in this series. I think also he's a underrated pacer at this point. Been there 11 years. Um, and was in a trade rumor for
On
probably
the trade
10
block
years. Yeah, I was gonna say
every single year.
on the trade block for 10 years. Um, so I'm happy for him. I'm glad that they stuck it out with him, and they were able to form a team. And it's not the team's not around him, but the team's around Halliburton. But I'm glad that they were able to keep him for so long. And he'll end up being a Pacers legend even just from making this finals. Um,
Yeah.
two X factors I'd say for the Pacers that are going to matter a lot are the Benedict Mathurin minutes and the Obi Toppin minutes. Those guys, Benedict Mathurin's had a weird year. He's not very efficient, but he gets to the free throw line. He's hyper aggressive. Same with Obi Toppin. Um, and if those guys can get rolling in the first couple games, we could see this go. We could see the Pacers win a couple games here. And then on OKC side, I mean, you could just grab a handful of guys, and just those guys, all of them could be the X factors. I mean, you got Caruso could have a 20-point game at any point. Kason Wallace, I absolutely love. Um, maybe some Kenrich Williams. Sorry, I was adding another consonant in there. If he gets some minutes and they play some small ball with him, he's dangerous every time they've done that. And then and of course the big three: Shea, Jalen Williams, and Chet. Those guys are going to be going off against the walls, and it's gonna be hard to stop those three. So there's a lot of stuff to break down here, but not a lot of answers that we have just yet. But I'm excited for game one. Ethan said in the chat, um, easily the best finals matchup in the past 3 years, in my opinion. I think I think it can be. Let's think about the last 3 years. What was it? Was Celtics, and we had um who the hell won last?
Beat Nuggets,
Nuggets, right? Yeah.
right?
Was that
And
Nuggets?
then Celtics Warriors.
Yeah, Celtics Warriors might have been the best one.
Three. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good series. Um, I'm looking it up because I can't believe I'm forgetting it right now. Are we missing one? No, we're good. We had it up.
Which,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
Boston Golden State takes the cake there. But for the past 2 years, and I guess 3 years if you count this year, this is by far,
yeah.
yeah, my favorite matchup. Um, because I never thought Dallas was going to be good enough. I never thought the Heat was going to be good enough. That final stunk. That was a terrible finals.
That was a bad finals.
That
Yeah,
was a terrible finals. Um, so it is. I'm glad we get a good matchup. Hopefully, it doesn't end 4-1, and we get to see some life out of the Pacers. Ethan says that even though Ethan, by the way, Pacers fan for some reason. That's okay. He got on
Oh,
before. Yeah, he
know
got
that.
on. I think he got on last year, so I'm giving it to him. Um,
Okay.
and he said OKC in 6 sadly feels inevitable. Um, I think Pacers would be kind of lucky to get 6, but the I you never know. You never know. You gotta wait until the ball tips. Um, so I was gonna find a way. I was gonna find a funny way to say ball
I
tips.
got two last Pacers.
Oh, okay, yeah, go
Oh,
ahead. I was
I
gonna
thought you were
transition. No,
transitioning.
I was gonna transition. Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
Um, two little Pacers nuggets
Yeah.
that might give you a little bit of hope. I'm glad you said something about Rick Carlisle because I was listening to a pod earlier and they brought up that Rick Carlisle was the coach of the 2010 Mavs team
Mhm.
that beat the Heat in the finals
Yep.
when they were big underdogs. So, for whatever it's worth, Rick Carlisle has been in a very similar situation before. Um, and then the other thing is this is just kind of like a gut feel thing, but it feels like the Pacers will never get rattled. Like this team is not, they're just kind of like living in the moment game by game, like enjoying this run. They're not like, there's no pressure on them to win. It doesn't feel like. And we did talk about pressure at one point, and they were like
Thibodeau was on
by
the
far
pressure
the
list.
last team. Yeah, Thibodeau
Yeah,
was, and
yeah.
he
He was on the.
cracked.
Yes, he did. He did crack.
But
They
yeah, it feels like they're going into this series, and they're not walking into it like, oh, we're huge underdogs. This OKC team is a juggernaut. They're just going out to play basketball.
I'd agree with that, and that's where the confidence comes in. It seems like this team, at any time, at any point, they could be down by 5, or they could be down by 5. They could be down by 15, and they're still
Yeah,
playing the exact same pace. They're still playing the exact same way, and that's like there's a lot of teams that don't do that, which is important. My Boston Celtics, every time they were down, completely changed the game plan and just soiled themselves. So it's um and like the Knicks were like that with the Pacers, which is why it was such a good series where neither team gave up on any game. Neither
mhm.
team uh they always played with the same amount of pace. They always thought they were going to win. Um and I think the Pacers are going to go in like that. And there's something that would worry me if I was OKC is that we said it earlier, all the locker room stuff they can put up, all the and all the pressure's on you. So and it's funny because I don't know if they're feeling the pressure would be my worry if I'm OKC. Are they, because the
Mhm.
pressure is on them, but are they feeling the pressure? Because they're 10
Right.
point favorites.
They're
They're
even
they're
old
supposed
enough
to
to
sweep.
understand the pressure.
That's another good point. And yes, there's another element where there's you gotta lose at one point. You gotta lose at some
Mhm.
point to get over the hump. And this would be an OKC team. I mean, we saw them go. They lost the finals last year, but like whatever. Like that was like, the start of their eventual dynasty that we're all predicting that they're going to have. And so maybe that counts, but I don't think that counts. And they need to experience some real heartbreak before they win the finals, and maybe they don't.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, and maybe they don't. But and like it'll be unprecedented though for them not to. And I think the Pacers had it last year when they were in every single of those games in the Eastern Conference Finals and they got swept. They got swept and they were in
Yeah,
it was a 3-point game or a 4-point game in every single game. So it is it's a fascinating matchup. I think the elite basketball is going to be so much fun to watch. As long as it doesn't get belittled by a bunch of SGA free throws, it'll be
it's a good series for the nerds.
yes, it is a good series for the nerds. Um, so it'll be fun. I'm excited. Well, I'm gonna check out the no more comments on this. So you ready to move on? I think we covered pretty much
Yep,
everything.
I think we've covered everything we can at this point.
So of course, important NFL news is happening. Um, Stefon Diggs, my wide receiver number one, baby. I I'm all for it. He's on the boat. He got
Is
drugs. He's
anybody
got
upset about
strippers.
this?
I don't know who's upset about this. These
Cardi B, I think, was upset.
Cardi B was probably upset. And then there's a video, but then there's a video. I think it might be even the same boat. He's doing some shit with Cardi B. So like I don't know. Maybe she's not upset with it. But if you haven't seen the video,
We don't know the bounds of their relationship, I guess.
that's true. Yeah, we don't know what they do. Nor do I want to know. I don't want to know what they do either.
Nope.
Um, But this is a Pats wide receiver I haven't seen in my lifetime. I mean,
Yep.
this is a true diva number one. Um, and I'm all for it. He came back to training camp. He looked. I saw a couple videos, and he looks fast as hell for a guy coming off an ACL. Um, there was it's so funny because it's June and the Boston sports radio just wants something to bitch about. So they're like, oh, he didn't show up to OTAs the next day because they're gonna cut him. It's like actually he's probably just hungover or like recovering
Yeah.
from whatever he did on that boat. And they're all it's all OTAs anyways. I always hate like this guy didn't show up to OTAs. I mean, it's optional. I mean, of course you want your
I've
guys to
had to
show up.
block it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but it is I yeah, I absolutely love having Diggs on this team. And it maybe I'll regret like maybe it's week 4 and you'll see me just like I can't believe we have Diggs on our team. But if he keeps up, if he has production, helps out Drake May, then I am I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Do we have
You're
anything
also
coming
not
out of
like going
oh
into the season with like huge expectations for Dig. Like you're not expecting a 1,400 yard season. Like
no, not at
he's in
all.
the twilight of his career now, off of an
Yes.
ACL. So like
I
if
would
he
be
gets you
fine with
800
I was
yards,
gonna say.
you'll take it.
I was gonna say 800 yards, eight like maybe 5+ touchdowns. I'm all for it. That's great production right there. Um, other than that, I don't. Do you have any commanders? Commanders training camp? Anything?
Dane Daniels looks pretty big.
Yeah,
Looks like he's put on some muscle,
yeah.
so that's
All right,
cool.
good. He needs that.
I'm wary to get excited about stuff like that because I can't think of a single time where a player beefed up in the off season and then
It mattered.
we are like they had a career season and then we look back and we're like it's probably because they beefed up in the off. But it like he's different. It's not like he sucked last year and now he's in good shape. Like it's not a Mac Jones or Wayne Haskins RIP situation where you look at him and you're like, oh, he's shredded now.
Yeah.
So he'll be good. But it is nice to see he's got a little more beef on the bones.
No, and
Um,
that's just even for injuries, you know?
so
You just
yeah,
wanna make sure he has the muscles.
yeah, right.
What
Yeah.
so
So
what is your mindset with the Commanders right now? You've never experienced this ever. Are you we winning the Super Bowl or are we pumping the brakes?
uh Angel and the Devil, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously, because I'll have days where like I start to think about the season and I just get really excited and I have to block it out. Um, we'll see how I feel once the season starts. But I don't expect them to win the Super Bowl this year for what it's worth.
Okay.
I think
That's a good mindset to have.
I mean, big picture, big picture, their win total is like I think it's 9.5, and
Really?
they played a
Seems
weak
kinda
schedule
low.
last year. It does seem low. That was my first thought, but when you really think about it, like they won 7, 8 games last year by one score. They played mostly bad football teams. Um, and this year they're playing, I guess, a second place schedule, not a first place schedule. But they have to play the AFC West, so they get the Chiefs, Chargers,
Oh, oh.
Broncos, and the NFC North. So they've got Packers, Vikings, Lions, Bears.
Jesus, you guys got the worst 2
So
divisions in the
it's
NFL.
it's a rough schedule, yeah. So and obviously, like we don't know how good some of these teams are going to be once the season starts, but like you know the Chiefs are going to be good.
Yep.
You know the Packers are going to be at least decent. You know the
Yep.
Lions are going to be good. Bears will probably be better. Chargers most likely will be very good. Um,
Broncos.
so yeah, I'm not trying to. What about them?
You just mentioned like 3 other teams.
Oh,
I was
it's
like,
supposed to be
"Broncos
good.
bad." Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I just gave a little shout to Broncos country. Let's ride.
And the Vikings. Sorry, uh, did not mention the Raiders, but the Raiders could be tough too. You never know.
That's I mean, they have a quarterback now.
Gino,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's funny, I was thinking when you said the Raiders initially, I was thinking, "Oh, Minshew, like, that's gonna be easy." And I was like, "Oh, wait a second.
no, yeah.
It's
And
you
the
gotta
Tom
wake
Brady
up for the
factor,
game."
like he's there.
Yeah, you gotta wake up for the game.
He's in the building.
That's in, Landover row though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because a couple of my buddies were talking about going to that game.
yeah. No Vegas trip.
That's a shame. That would have been
We still
fun.
got to do our full NFL breakdown.
Oh, we will. Oh, the schedule breakdown?
Last year we were on top of it. Yeah,
Schedule.
best game of every week.
I do love the schedule breakdown. The yeah, we could do that again.
When do we
I
get new
was
uniforms? I've been wait. I was promised new uniforms for my team, and I haven't seen jack.
same with the
Is it
Pats.
usually like that's what I'm waiting for?
Yeah, same with the Pats. I expected new uniforms this year too, and normally it's come out by now, right?
That's what I thought. I thought we were talking about this stuff in May.
Yeah. It's I hope both of our teams get new uniforms. You guys need new white ones. Your white ones just don't look like
Yeah, desperately.
Commanders. Yeah. The other ones look fine. They
No,
just don't look like
yeah.
Commanders uniforms. Um all right. Well, I think that's I mean, there's not
Oh,
I'm
so yeah. To sum up the Commanders offseason in a nutshell, there was a radio segment last week about a Washington Post article that like the percentage of people that now like the name Commanders has increased, and
oh, I
they
wonder why.
reopened the debate about the team name.
I wonder
So
why.
that's kind of where we're at. Terry McLaurin did not show up to OTAs. He needs a new contract, so shocker there. Neither did
Did they
Lattimore.
not
He has
they
like two
didn't
million guaranteed.
they didn't extend him last year?
No, not yet.
Hmm.
They will. I'm
Yeah.
not concerned about it,
Would you want to
but
extend
yeah.
Lattimore? I wouldn't do it. I'd wait.
Um,
I'd be like, "Sorry, pal, you gotta
he
wait."
has 2 years.
Oh, okay.
He just has no guaranteed money.
Yeah, no, definitely then. I'd be like, "You're
Yeah.
waiting then."
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Debo,
Uh,
same boat. He's got a year left. No guaranteed money. Like, let's see what happens.
yeah, he's gotta wait too. Especially you just got here.
Tunzel, they got to get done at some point. I think he has 2 years left, but they got to extend him.
That'll be a nasty contract. That'll be a gross one.
Probably.
Yeah, that'll be a gross one.
Yeah. I'll make
Um,
my tummy queasy.
how do we? I know we talked
Even
about
Daniels
Tunzel
will
when it
count for $100
happened.
million. dollars.
Yeah, you got to pay them all now, so then you can pay Jaden eventually.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
eventually, yeah, and because once you pay Jaden, you're relying on Luke McCaffrey and Jalen, whoever Higgins. Is that who you got this year? No, Higgins went to the
Jalen
Texans.
Lane.
Jalen Lane, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So that's you're gonna be banking on once you pay once you pay him.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, that's our NFL talk. Now, I've been pumped for this top five. I'm excited for it. I have my list right
Comes to note.
here. Chris, you wanna share with the class what we got today?
Yeah, we got top five bowls. Shout out Avery, my lovely girlfriend, came up with this one. Um, yeah, that's about it. We got
All right.
we got
Yeah.
bowls. Can be any type of bowl, I guess.
Yep.
I don't
It's
know
gonna
where
be
you're gonna
quite
head
a
with
list.
things, but I've
Yeah.
got I definitely have a variety of bowls on here. Some edible, some not. So
It's gonna be a strange list, but it'll be fun. You want to go first?
yeah, I'll go first. I don't. It was very hard to pick a number one.
Yeah.
Because there's one that's like kind of the clear number one, but it's not my favorite. So my number one is a Chipotle bowl. Like
Ooh.
that's what I think of
Okay.
when I think of
That's
bowls. Like that's the
that's a good
number
one.
one bowl that you can
That's a good
purchase
one.
in the world. Like in terms
Yeah.
of value, in terms of like consistency, it never gets old. Like maybe you can switch up the meats every once in a while, but like you could eat a Chipotle bowl twice a week, I feel like, and never get sick of it. Um, it's not expensive in a world where, I actually just saw a tweet about how like lunch is now $18. Like Chipotle bowls are what, 11, $12?
I normally get a burrito, so I'm a burrito
Oh,
guy. I've always been a
okay.
burrito guy. But I respect the bowl. I always respect the
Interesting.
bowl. Because you can get the tortilla on the side. You can just get, you can
Yes.
pack it in a little bit more. You get more stuff in it, it seems like. Um, so I understand the bowl, um, the Chipotle bowl instead of the burrito. And I like it. That's a good pick because you're right. It is every time at lunch, Chipotle's packed. There's people walking
Yep.
out with bowls all the time. Um, and as you said, consistent. Never like you make it yourself. It's never gonna be it's never gonna be bad.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's never gonna be bad, and you can just load it up with whatever you want. So it's that's a great pick, great bowl. I'm taking this in another direction, and it might be the direct sequel to your Chipotle bowl, and that is the toilet bowl.
The toilet bowl.
Gotta love the toilet bowl. I mean, the home bowl especially, the home toilet bowl.
Yep.
That's every man's throne. You know,
Zen.
yeah, it's zen. It's time to relax. It's time to, take a little chill break. Um, it's yeah, the toilet bowl, man. It never lets you down. Sometimes you need it. Like sometimes you desperately need it. Um,
Yep.
so yeah, I love love the toilet bowl. Number one.
The best thing about the toilet bowl is it's the only place where I can shamelessly scroll
Yep.
and not feel like I'm wasting time.
Yes. Yeah. You get freedom to doom
Sometimes
scroll.
I steal a little extra time on there, even if I have anything
Business
to
is taken
do.
care of.
Already finished up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a great pick. I feel like that's got to be like a gender thing, right? That guys just enjoy sitting on the toilet bowl. Like I don't
Yeah, because girls have to
do
do it
women
every
just
time they
sit
pee
there
too,
and
right? Like they don't like
that's
it's more of
true.
a
Yeah,
hassle, right?
on a special.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's definitely not as special.
yeah. It's only once or twice a day for us,
Yep.
I think.
For some of us. Some of us. I definitely know some people that it's not. Um, all right, what do you got next?
That's great. All right, my number two is the Super Bowl. Like, that was the one
Oh,
that I
just
was
the
worried that
Super
was going to be
Bowl?
like the unanimous. The Super Bowl.
You just took the bowl, took the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle.
You're taking specific Super Bowls.
I have it on my list. Yeah,
How many Super Bowls do you have?
I only have two. Could you pick a say?
All
Could you
right.
pick? You don't have to. You could say. I mean, the Super Bowl is an event itself. And it's different than an individual Super Bowl. It's a day. You get to be a degenerate all day. You get a halftime show. So I think you could ride with this pick. I don't think you have to pick a specific one.
Well, but if you have specific Super Bowls on here,
You don't want the list to look weird.
right? I don't want to have the Super Bowl on my list, and then you have like Super Bowl 56 or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if that we might not even be at that point yet. The problem for me is I don't have like the last Super Bowl that I could pick is 1991,
Yeah. No,
and
yeah. No, it's fine. I think it'll be all right. You just take the like
you
it could
think the
be
Super Bowl like as an event,
as an event, as a day.
not a game.
Yeah, as an event. Because like you have
Okay,
parties, you have there's people drink on a Sunday.
food.
Yeah, food. Um, yeah. No, I think that definitely counts. That works.
Okay.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Just taking it. And all right. Well, then I'll only do one of my Super Bowls then, and I'll do Super Bowl 51, the greatest
Is that
comeback of all
the
time.
Falcons
Falcons.
one? Okay.
Yep. Um, you know, never forget where I mean, I was in my basement, so it's like I'm not gonna forget where I was. But I remember every aspect of that game. The Snapchat memories that come up every February are um, some of my favorite. Um, just being so down and then ending up with a win and like crawling back and getting the skin up, like getting my hairs raised and being like maybe we have a chance, and then there is a chance, and literally everything in that game had to go perfect for the Patriots for them to win. There couldn't have been one wrong breath on the field, and the Falcons would have won that game. So it's I rewatch it probably every 2 years, maybe 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna yeah. It's not
Not that
egregious.
often.
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna say like every like 4 months or something.
I could. I
That'd be a
honestly
lot.
could. I could sit through it. But
Like the whole
it's
game,
no, it's like
or
they
just like the comeback part, like
it shows
condensed
them
game.
getting down, and then it speeds up a little bit
Yeah,
and shows them coming back. But it is like a
got
30-minute like video that I've watched multiple
it.
times. Um, but yeah, that's the bowl I'll pick, or the Super Bowl I'll pick from our bowls list. But Go ahead, Chris. Next up.
That's a good one. All right, I am going to take another bowl game, which is the Rose Bowl,
Ooh,
the granddaddy of them all.
yeah,
I like the more I thought about this, I was like, there's so many bowl games. There's none that are like as iconic as the Rose
yeah,
Bowl. Like not even close.
yeah.
When you think about the big, like the New Year's Day bowls, like the Rose Bowl is like the poster child of bowl games. You know?
Completely agree. And like you can see the atmosphere, you can see the stadium, like in your head when you think about the Rose Bowl right now. Um, I agree. It is now it's a playoff game now, right? Yes, it is served as this quarterfinals.
Yeah.
And it's when you look up the Rose Bowl, it is known as the granddaddy of them all, as what you just said.
Yes.
So there you go. It is the oldest bowl game in the United States. Love it. It started in 1902, the Rose Bowl. Wow, great bowl, great pick. Um, I'm gonna go. Hmm, let's go with an acai bowl. Love me an acai bowl.
Mm.
The fruit. It's basically ice cream. It's like healthy ice cream. You put some fruit on top. You put some
I don't know
granola on
how
top.
healthy they are. There's way more sugar in those
Definitely
things
lying to you.
than
Yeah,
you
it's not.
realize. Yeah. You feel healthy when you eat it, though. I will say that.
Yes, you have a little granola on top, a little honey. You can
Yep.
mix it up with whatever you want. You can put some Nutella on there sometimes. It is. I had it my sophomore year of college. I probably had it 3 times a week for lunch, which isn't a
Yeah.
big lunch,
They're good.
but
They're good.
it was yeah, it was fulfilling and it was
Well, you could
quick.
throw like protein powder in there too.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can make it up. You can make it with whatever you want. Really, I feel like it's a growing bowl. This hasn't been a like
Yeah.
it's within the past 5 years bowl. I feel like 5 years ago we weren't seeing RCA bowls
I would
everywhere.
say so. No, because I remember definitely hating on it, or maybe not hating on it, but just being very hesitant to try it. And then my mom got me one. I was like, "Damn, if this isn't a
Fantastic.
good bowl."
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic.
There's a juice place like right below my apartment, and they do acai bowls.
Ooh,
And
that would be
I've
dangerous.
somehow only been able to go a couple times,
Yeah.
but 'cause they're not cheap.
No,
But they're
that
also
that
not
is the one
like
thing.
they're not wildly overpriced, but
No, the thing is like
for
you're
like
paying
fruit.
yeah, you're paying a meal for fruit. Like you're paying a meal price for fruit, which is the tricky part to get around. But well, I had the meal plan, honestly. That's why I just swipe and snag it. But I love
Oh, you get to use swipes on it.
oh yeah. Oh, it was a cheat code, man. It was a cheat code. Um but yeah, I can't believe you've only gone like twice downstairs. If I had one downstairs, I would be going all the time. All right.
It is tempting. It's like every morning when I don't have stuff that I am excited about for
Yeah, prepared.
breakfast. Like I could
Yeah.
just walk
Oh, dude.
downstairs.
I'm now thinking about like taking an acai bowl to work. Just like sitting at your desk for like the first five
Yeah,
minutes of work, just chowing down on that thing.
that's what I do with overnight oats.
Oh
It's
yeah, I
way
have that too.
worse, but
I
it's,
have that too.
oatmeal's like $3 for a huge thing.
I do this. Yeah, I do
I'm
the
a pretty
same.
cost effective eater.
Yep. I've tried to be the same way. Um, yeah. All right. What else we got?
All right, my number four, also food. I've got a breakfast bowl. Which I think homemade breakfast bowls are the best if you just make a bunch of bacon and eggs and just like throw them in a bowl with cheese
Scramble the
and mix
eggs.
it all
Yeah. Just
together.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the best. Maybe drizzle a little hot sauce over it. You can throw in vegetables if you want, like maybe some onions,
Cilantro, something like that.
uh, maybe some peppers, cilantro.
Chives, maybe.
If you're into that, I
I
guess.
don't know. I'm just thinking about
Chives,
what would be
yeah,
on. Yeah, I was just thinking about what would be on a.
yeah, scallions, green
Yep.
onions. Yeah, a cheesy breakfast bowl is so good, and I feel like that we don't. That's not as normalized as maybe it should be. Like I feel like when I
I completely
picture
agree.
a home cooked breakfast, I think of like bacon, egg, and toast.
Yep.
But I think it's way better in a bowl format.
I like that take. I think that's an underrated bowl for sure. They like, and if you go to what's it called, Waffle House, which there's not a lot of Waffle House around here. They have
Hmm.
the bowls. We have the grits mixed in with them, or not the grits, but it's
Yeah.
the hash browns, like they're thin little hash browns that you mix in with them. Um,
Oh, those things are
yeah, those things are fantastic.
I love hash browns.
Yeah, I do too. I was think, yeah, if you throw one of those in those bowls, I mean, it just adds levels, man.
Hmm.
Adds levels. It's hash browns. I love how we're getting on this tangent, but hash browns are great because I like the potato version and like the completely fried like strips, basically.
Yeah, like the McDonald's ones.
Yeah, like the McDonald's ones versus like you go at a diner and they have like the little cubicle potatoes.
Yeah, like home fries.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm in for either one.
What about the shredded ones? You have shredded hash browns?
Is
Those are
that
some
what
of my
Waffle House
favorites.
does?
I've not been to Waffle House.
Fair enough. I forgot. Yeah, forgot the nugget.
Probably,
Yeah, it's
probably.
what they do. Yeah, I believe that's what they do, and that's good. That's really good too.
Mhm.
Um, Great pick. I'm up next. So I'm gonna do it. I have the Duke's Mayo Bowl of 2021,
Nice.
the birth of Shane Beamer. Um, the I absolutely love this game. The Gamecocks had a wide receiver play quarterback. Uh, they beat uh they beat North Carolina. I was actually driving to Connecticut during that time, and I was listening to it on the radio. So I always like sometimes it's fun to listen to it on the radio instead of watching the game. But it that's a great game, and Shane Beamer gets dunked on by the Mayo. You guys won a Mayo Bowl. Your team got dunked on by
We did win a
Mayo.
Mayo Bowl.
Yep. So
Yep,
it's a fun bowl,
pretty
even if it's
exciting.
not the 2021 one. It's a fun bowl to have in the arsenal of bowls. And for all the gimmicks that they have with bowls, like getting dunked on by Mayo is pretty bad. So that's pretty funny. That's and that the winning coach agrees to do it. It's all good and fun. Um, I will say the
How
broadcast
could you not agree to do it?
does get a
Have
little in
people
their
turned it
head.
down?
No, I don't think so. I hope not.
Okay.
You shouldn't be allowed to participate if you get
No, you should be banned from all future Mayo Bowls, and
yeah,
you shouldn't get the trophy.
exactly. I completely agree. Um,
Yeah, Mayo Bowl is fun.
yeah, I like uh, I like the Mayo Bowl. I thought that was a good pick. What else you got?
All right, wrapping it up. I don't know if I want to go with
Wait,
food
wait,
or
sorry, I gotta
football
pause you
here.
real quick. Ethan in the comments says once or twice a day when we were talking about the toilet bowl with the exclamation and question mark because we said people use the toilet bowl
Is
more.
that like a?
He means he must be going more than twice a day. Oh man.
I mean, 3 times a day. I feel like is the max that could be even possibly normal, right?
I
Like that's one for every meal.
yeah, I agree with you. But sometimes nature calls, man. And, clearly for Ethan,
I get
it
how
was
much coffee are
egregious
you
saying.
drinking, Ethan?
That's the other thing. If you drink a lot of coffee in the morning,
'Cause that's
that's
2 in the morning alone.
yeah. Yeah, I agree. Um, all right. I didn't mean to cut you off. You're at your last one,
No,
right?
you're good. That was good timing because I was trying to think about what I wanted to do here. Um, all right, you can tell me if this is cheating, but I'm gonna take a bowl of Fruit Loops.
You
Okay,
can even go a bowl of
because it's
cereal if you
not
want.
like really
If
a
you do
cereal on
that,
your
I have
list.
a counter. So if you want to take
Are you
cereal,
not going to use your counter if I
no,
don't take?
no, the counter is just specify.
Oh, you can take like
It's narrowed down if you do Fruit Loops. It's broadened if you say cereal.
got it. Oh, well, now I'm thinking take like bowl of ice cream.
That's a good one. That's not. I didn't even think about that one. Jesus, how did I not think of bowl of ice cream? Love ice cream. It's like my favorite dessert.
I'm saying, all right. I'm thinking bowl of ice cream.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a great
Yeah,
find right
that's
there.
better
That
than
should have been
cereal.
top
That's better
5.
than cereal.
That would have been if that
Yeah,
made it off our list, that would have been bad. If we thought about that
that would have
afterwards,
been heinous. Yeah.
yeah, it would have been bad. Um, bowl
Yeah.
of
I
ice
mean,
cream,
just
man.
off the cuff,
Yeah.
homemade bowl of ice cream is the best. I never get cones. I always get the cup
Oh,
when
I'm
I
a
go
cone
out.
guy
I
too.
just don't like eating the cone.
My brother
I
could
don't like it
not eat
dripping
a
down my
cone.
hands.
He flies helicopters for the army and he could not eat. I bet he couldn't eat a cone right now. I could hand him a cone. It would just be all over his hand within like 2 minutes.
I can do it. I just feel pressure.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah. You
like
got to
if
eat
it
it
melts
quick.
in the bowl, you just like slurp it up. But if it
Yeah.
melts in the cone, like kind of shit out of luck.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you have to have a strategy for cones and you have to be
Soft serve is different. Like you
yeah,
can
oh
eat
yeah.
soft serve out of cone, no problem. But I'm not a soft serve. I prefer regular ice cream.
I agree. I like the hard serve too. If that is, do they
Okay.
even call it hard served? I don't know.
No, it's just ice cream. You're a black coffee guy, right? So you
Yeah.
that's I feel like those two things go hand in hand. Like people that take cream and sugar, like you probably like soft serve too.
Little, little soy boy like your soft serve.
So, like, oh,
Um,
yeah.
no, I love the traditional ice cream, and it is. I do agree. Like it's good in a cone. I love it in a cone. But when you have it at home in a bowl, you can have it. You can watch a movie with it. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's you can add any toppings you
It
want
can
to
change
it.
your whole night. Like we have ice cream in the freezer, and sometimes I'll just be like, you know what? I'm gonna have ice cream tonight
Oh yeah, I do. If there's
because
ice
I
cream in the
can, and
freezer,
it's
I'm
gonna
eating
put
it
me in a good
tonight.
mood.
The And the other thing too is like when it melts in the bowl, as you said, you get like the goopiness. But I mean, everyone did it when they were a kid. You mix it up a little bit. And it's like you mix up
Yeah,
the
yeah.
rest of it. Yeah, and
Little
it's just like
like chocolate sauce.
yeah, yeah. And and that becomes like a second. It's like a dessert to your dessert. You're like, oh, now I get the good stuff. Um, yeah, I love that pick. I can't believe I'm glad that didn't leave the um the list. Glad that didn't leave the list for sure.
Yeah, me too.
Um,
I've had ice cream, I think 3 nights in a
when there's ice cream, I will have ice cream. What they say it on they're on the if we were part of Barstool, we would be part of the cream team.
row. The cream tea.
Yeah, we would be 1,000%. But they're getting soft serve, so maybe they're little soy boys.
Yeah, they are getting soft serve. Well, you can't get a machine for like
Yeah,
homemade
that's
ice
true.
cream.
Yeah,
But that's fair. Like our dining hall had soft serve, and I ate it. It's good.
the cat's gonna be 800 pounds with the
It's not
sauce.
good.
How is he gonna stop himself? I wouldn't. I would be 800 pounds if I had a soft serve.
I have ice cream every single day. I the first time I ate a brownie sundae at the dining hall, I was like, oh,
Now you
this is a
can't have anything
disaster.
else.
And I can just have this like right there.
Every
I
day.
could eat it every time.
My my parents recently, we got a thing of ice cream and they got these cookies from Aldi's that they called it everything in the kitchen sink and it had like peanut butter, like chocolate, like had like pretzels in the cookie, like it had everything.
Hmm.
And we just made ice cream sandwiches for like 3 days in a row.
Crumble it up. Oh, ice cream sandwiches. Yeah.
It was it
So
was bad. It was real bad. We wiped through the cookies, wiped through the ice cream. It was done.
bad.
That's a
Oh
great pick.
man.
Um Now I feel like
Thanks.
I feel like I'm letting us down here with this last one, but I'm gonna go broad. And I was gonna do a specific soup, but I'm gonna do a bowl of soup. Bowl of soup can
Okay.
always make you feel
I had
better.
that.
Can always make you feel better. It's comfort food for people. Easy to
Oh
eat,
yeah.
cheap, lasts forever in the cans. Um, it's funny. There's like even in college, it was like I just had soup randomly in the cupboard. I would never
Yeah.
actually eat it. I don't know how it got there. I don't even
Eventually,
remember
you'll
buying
need
it.
that chicken noodle
Yes,
soup.
exactly. Yes, yes. And eventually,
It's
when
probably you went to Aldi like your first time of the semester, and you were just like, "I'll eat that at some point. It's 99
yep,
cents." Threw
yeah,
it in the cart.
yes. And talk about cost-effective meals. Most
Yeah.
cost-effective meal you could possibly get. A thing of chicken noodle soup is like 99 cents. Um, and I was gonna do clam chowder, but I feel like that's a little niche.
Okay.
I don't think it would get the votes.
I like clam chowder.
I love clam chowder. Um,
I chicken noodle was the one that I wrote down, but yeah, chowder's pretty awesome.
so Oh, dude, bread bowls. I,
That was one that Avery was excited about.
bread bowls and soup. Now I feel like I should just switch to bread
I haven't
bowls.
had a bread bowl in so long.
All right, I have a
You could do soup
theory.
in a bread bowl.
Oh yeah, to Panera Bread does the soup in the bread bowls.
No, I mean like your pick if you wanted
Okay,
to switch it.
yeah, all right, I'll do it. I'll take the bread bowl for Avery. I'll do it
Soup in a
to make it
bread bowl?
list.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and I have a theory about the bread bowls. Uh, Did Panera just Panera just fell off the face of the planet for me. I don't know about you, but the second they like you can't get a meal there
Yeah.
for 20, like you can't even get a meal for $20 there. Like that place is insane.
I used to go with my grandma all the time, and,
Yep, when
like,
I was younger, I would go
now that I don't
all the
hang out
time.
with my grandma as much, I don't go to Panera's.
They But, like, I bet your grandma doesn't go to Panera as much anymore. There's something about Panera that just completely fell off the face of the
No,
earth.
yeah.
And
I don't know, there's one that's walking distance to me, and I haven't been to it.
I wouldn't bother. Just walk right past. The,
It's good.
yeah, it's solid food. It's just
I couldn't tell you what their prices look like. Is it bad?
from what I last time I walked in there, it's pretty bad. Like, you get, like, half a grilled cheese and, like, half a cup of
They
soup.
do that. They're like, "Oh, do you want half the sandwich?" And I'm like,
No.
"If I look like I want half of a sandwich."
Yeah, no, I don't want half a sandwich. That's why the bread bowls were so good, and I haven't seen a bread bowl,
Yeah.
I think, since the pandemic. I think they wiped out the bread bowls. I don't know what COVID has to do with Panera's bread bowls, but
I feel
they
like you should sell them at a grocery store.
yes, just as the bowl. But the thing is, how long? Like you have to eat it that night, right? How long does that last?
My bread can keep for a couple days, like fresh bread. Put it in the fridge,
That's
especially.
true. Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe
I don't. It would be tough to pack them though, because you
you'd have to.
can't really like stack the bread bowls. Like they can't go inside of each other.
No, they couldn't be. They'd have to be sold like individually, just wrapped in plastic.
Yeah,
So that would be yeah, that would be tricky.
they're big.
I wonder. We have the Amish market right by where we grew up, and I wonder if they have bread bowls. I bet they have fantastic do if they do.
Probably.
All right,
If they don't, then I don't think anywhere does.
agreed. All right. I think that's the Cubs are right. That's all five. Any honorable mentions that we missed?
Yep. Oh, I had a lot of honorable mentions.
Oh, lay them on me.
I had okay, so I had a bunch of cereals, or just two. So I had Fruit Loops and Cheerios. I had chicken noodle. I had bread bowl. Uh, a ceramic bowl you made in art class.
Oh yeah,
I had that on there. Probably not an
nice.
actually good bowl, but it's probably fun to do. And
Yeah.
you made a bowl. Kava bowl. I'm a big fan of kava.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Yeah.
poke bowl, like sushi bowl.
That's a good one. I
Those are
like poke
good. Just
bowls.
too expensive.
Yeah.
The Iron Bowl, one of the
Oh,
best rivalries
yep.
in college football. I could go. Oh, that would have been a good pick. The whatever the kick six was. I forget what year that was.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a great Iron
That was
Bowl.
an excellent bowl.
Um,
Even the
yeah.
one from like 2 years ago when they Alabama won it off the
Oh
last
yeah,
like second, right? Something like that. Some crazy
yeah.
touchdown
That was.
back at the
I
end
think
of the
that
fourth.
was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah. There have been some. The Cam Newton one. They were down 21-0. Came
Yeah.
back. Um, what else did I have? Oh, Bowling for Soup. That's the band that sings the Phineas and Ferb theme song.
Nice. Nice.
Gave them an honorable mention. And then my last one is the Lower Bowl at a stadium. Best place to sit. Generally.
Pick. Yeah, it's a good pick. Um, I only had I see. It's funny. We had different lists, which I like because we I was way more
Yeah.
specific and tailored to um me, I guess, and yours is more broad. Um, my only
I
two
thought you were
honorable
going to take
mentions.
my picks.
You think yeah? So you just had a bunch of loaded up. No, I wasn't. I didn't. I came in expecting you not to have me. I thought you'd have maybe toilet bowl, but I actually thought of toilet bowl. I thought of it yesterday. I had this list. We were gonna do it on Saturday, so I had it for a little
Yeah.
bit. Um, I just had Super Bowl 50 or 49. Malcolm Butler last second.
Mm.
Um, I just I've probably said this on the pod a million times. I was walking upstairs as it happens. I was like, "Sorry, Dad. Like we lost another one." Walking upstairs, and I'm like still watching because it's like there's one more play. I just didn't want to see him. Like I was a kid. I didn't want to see him score the touchdown to win. And
Yeah, yeah.
so I'm like peeking out like the corner of my eye, and then I was like, "Oh!" I just ran back
Yeah.
downstairs. So yeah, started celebrating. And it's funny too. Like when I was a kid, I don't remember like you're I was that was 2014. I was 12. So the the like I just remember the game ending after that. Like that's all I remember. But like there's when I looked back at it when I was older, there's the whole like Tom Brady kneels, the
Is there
Seahawks
like
like
a
hit
scram?
him. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a little scrum. Um but yeah, no, I was just too excited after that pick. I thought the game ended. Um and then I had the Palmetto Bowl from 2024. I was there in Clemson. Uh
Oh, that's a good one.
yeah, it was it was a great game. I'm just watching it in Clemson. Um So much fun. And for watching every time Clemson came to South Carolina when I was there, which I might have only been once, but they got uh smoked. And that was they lost 30-0. So 17-14 win this year. That was an
Oof.
electric game. Um Close one. And yeah, that was all 10 points in the fourth quarter for the Gamecocks. Held them to 0. So much fun to be there. Um I don't know what the stadium of the Clemson Stadium is, but if that's named after a bowl like that, yeah, some of the stadiums are like this bowl or something. Like, that's a thing, right?
I think Clemson is Memorial Stadium.
Okay, well, good thing it's not a
Yeah,
bowl because
yeah.
that
There are
stadium
polls.
stinks. They don't sell beer. Stadium doesn't sell beers.
Oh, really?
2025. Oh, I walked in. I was like, I asked like 3 workers. I was like, where can I get some beer? He's like, nowhere. What? Nowhere. I was like, you got to be kidding me. The Gamecocks better
That
win.
is a pretty recent development of
Yes.
selling beer at stadiums. Wasn't that? Did we ever talk about that on the podcast? Because I
Joseph
remember
McDonald's dad
Joseph's
sent us an
dad.
article.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes, Joseph McDonald's. It was one of our first pods. Not maybe not first, but one of our
yeah. Because we were doing it at
very
his house.
yeah. And he was like, "Look at this," because I think he clipped out a newspaper article. Like,
Yeah, it was like an actual newspaper.
yep. Um, yeah, that I do remember that. That is funny. But yeah, I think they're one of 5 stadiums now that don't sell beer still.
Mm. BYU
Probably,
got to be
probably.
one of them.
Yeah. Um. All right. Well, you got anything else before we wrap up?
Uh, Not that I can think of. I'm now looking up the stadiums that don't sell beer. I'm curious.
Oh, okay. I was gonna look it up too.
September 2023.
All right, we have Army, Auburn. Auburn's weird.
That's
Clemson,
surprising.
Georgia. Huh. Iowa State, Liberty, Michigan. There's a lot more than I thought. Northwestern, Notre Dame, Stanford, Utah, Utah State, and Washington State.
I wonder if they've updated that because this is 2023.
This is the Google AI. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
looking. I
seeing the
see the
same.
I see the USA
Trying to
Today
find a more
thing.
recent source. Well, this
Yeah.
says Nebraska the only school that doesn't sell beer. Oh, only Big Ten school. Like that would mean that Michigan has to.
Wait. Anytime. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
past year.
Michigan does. Michigan sells beer now. And that would
Wisconsin does
mean
too.
Northwestern also sells beer. How could Wisconsin not sell beer?
Yeah, I know. Come
It's like
on, just freezing your ass off up there watching Big
I
Ten
guess
football.
honestly there it's like they're probably so belligerent at the tailgates that they're like, we can't sell beer at the stadium or it'll just be
That's probably
disgusting.
true too, because the cold doesn't sweat the beer away, so everyone's just completely hammered.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, have you ever seen a map of like alcoholism by county in the US?
No, but I can predict.
It's like it's like dark blue is most heavy alcohol use, and the whole state of Wisconsin is dark blue.
What? They don't do
No
anything
other.
else.
Oh yeah.
They make the
But you would
beer, then
think
they
that like
drink it.
Iowa and Minnesota would be like close, and they're not at all.
Really? Wow, I didn't expect
I mean,
that.
they have a lot of of alcohol. But like Wisconsin is every single county is in the whatever the darkest color on the map is.
That's hilarious. Yeah, it looks like Nebraska's the only Big Ten
I'll
school that
find it
does it
for you.
anymore, and there's 2 SEC schools, which I think was Georgia and Auburn that we talked about earlier. Georgia's a weird one. I'm surprised that they didn't do
Interesting.
that, Georgia.
Yeah, that is surprising.
All right. Well, I think that does it. Thank you all for listening, and good to be back on video form. I feel like we haven't last pod was on the
Yeah,
video
that's
form,
right.
and then it's been a while, so it's good to be back. We'll see everyone on Friday to recap game 1 of the NBA Finals.